Well, the holiday season is in full swing, and that means shopping, sometimes ordering online, and of course, dealing with the dreaded porch pirates. You know, the people who like to steal the packages when no one is home. Well, the Kansas City police released some video of one midday thief who got cold feet when the alarm went off as he attempted to take the package. Now, watch this. You gotta love it. Now, while this porch pirate was foiled, last year about 11 million packages were stolen from homeowners. So try to be home when your packages arrive. Or get one of those sweet home security systems like our friend in Kansas City and send them scrambling and hopefully tripping face first into a thorny rose bush or a large pile of dog doo, because that's the least they deserve for trying to steal someone else's Christmas. Don't you agree? I thought you did. All right, from our How to Make an Entrance file, a pastor at Brown Baptist Church down in Mississippi decided to get the congregation's attention in a very unique way. That's by making a flying entrance to his sermon. Pastor Bartholomew Orr wanted to bring attention to how Jesus is expected to make a surprise return to this world. So the pastor said a professional company installed the flight harness, and all he had to do was get up the nerve just to being in it. Now, being a Baptist church, he probably had to get the deacons to approve this unique arrival. Now, while critics called his foray into the church a cheap stunt, Pastor Orr said he thought more young people left Sunday morning talking about his sermon than they had in a long while. No doubt about that. Now, perhaps when you give a message on King David, I think you ought to ride in on a motorcycle. After all, the Bible says David's triumph was heard in all the land. Now, the war on Christmas has reached Elkhorn, Nebraska, where elementary school principal Jennifer Sinclair, seeking to be culturally sensitive to all students, banned candy canes from class. Why, you may ask? Because it might make people think of Jesus, the J in the candy cane. Funny, I'm suddenly thinking of judgmental jerk for the J's. When Buddy the Elf was reached for a comment, he allegedly said the principal, quote, smells like beef and cheese and sits on a throne of lies, end quote. Principal Sinclair also banned Santa, Christmas trees, songs, movies, ornaments, reindeer, and things that are red and green. That means my tie would be unwelcome at the school there in Nebraska. I wonder if her life story, The Grinch, will still be shown. Sinclair said, and I quote, I feel uncomfortable that I have to get this specific, but for everyone's comfort, I will, end quote. Well, fortunately, shocked parents contacted the Liberty Council, who then threatened a lawsuit over this unconstitutional hostility toward Christians. The school lifted the unapproved ban, and they placed Principal Sinclair on administrative leave. Yeah, there you go. So the kids in Elkhorn, Nebraska can once again have a little fun this Christmas season. And to our principal, we wish the very best Festivus possible, and we will send her a case of candy canes just to be nice. Now, before we wrap things up, a few shout-outs to our friends on the internet. A shout-out to actor James Woods for calling out the media on their boycott of First Lady Melania Trump. If she was married to a Democrat, we wouldn't be able to keep up with her off the covers of magazines. So James Woods took it upon himself to rectify things when he tweeted, since no American magazine will put her on a cover, we'll just have to celebrate her ourselves. And also, we have a shout-out to Wheel of Fortune host Pat Sajak, who has never forgotten his fans, as proven in this tweet. He says, and I quote, one thing I've never done is lose touch with our viewers. If I'm in my car and someone waves at me, I always have my driver lower his window and wave back. And finally, PETA recently issued a list of new phrases to replace those that offend them, which is pretty much everything. So instead of saying the phrase, beat a dead horse, which they found offensive, they are requesting that we start saying, feed a fed horse. Did you get that? I'm sure all of you are going to do that because PETA has asked you to. Right. But when they asked for bring home the bagels to replace bring home the bacon, Senator Orrin Hatch let his loyalty be known with an online video filled with crispy, delicious bacon and his thorough enjoyment of it. Now, some of you may think the good senator was just hamming it up. I said, some of you may think the good senator was hamming it up. Slow bunch, Keith. Well, I say it's good to see an elected official getting rid of the pork in Washington and consuming it instead. Well, like Santa just trying to figure out who's naughty and nice, we're making a list. And we're reading the news.